Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Mr. Jackson, where the past comes alive. Good morning to you on this Memorial Day week. We're coming off the Memorial Day weekend, which was yesterday. Today is actually Tuesday, and I'm recording your video for your week today. I was going to post it up yesterday, but I'm like, nah, let them enjoy the Memorial Day. But this is your video for this week, for the week of 5/25. Uh, so that if you're looking what you do, that you should be studying this week. We've already studied into when the Civil War. I think the impact of the Civil War. The impact of the Civil War is what you're studying this week. Last week you actually talked about the Civil War began. All right. So yeah, we're now in the week 3. No, I think this is. Oh, let me look at that. Let me look at your grades. I can tell by your grade. This is the week 4. Excuse me. This is week 4. Last week was week 3. This is the last week of your actual lessons with me. And I hope that this journey through the Civil War has been one that's inspiring. But let's take a look at your lesson real quickly before we move any further so you know exactly where you stand with your lesson. Okay? All right, this week you're going to tackle the impact of the war. It basically starts talking about people inside of the war, such as people like Clara Barton. And she didn't actually fight in the war, but she's for the first time you see many women helping support the war like you've never seen before. Many of them became nurses, as she was. And if many of you have ever heard of the Red Cross, like a disaster relief organization. They go wherever there's a disaster and help out. Well, she's credited with starting the Red Cross by helping soldiers out on the battlefield. And so that's where well, she's credited with that. And so, but her life and journey is really interesting. Before let me come back to this. Before I go further, let me show you real quickly. As usual, remember you have your hyperdoc this week, the impact of the Civil War. I always say you skip everything, go down to Friday, and just take the Google form test. Bingo, boom, and then get all the answers, and then you go back over to Edmentum and do what? Put all those answers inside of Edmentum. Now, if you want to say, Mr. Jackson, I want to study some more. I like the fact that you gave me the answers, but I really like to study to get to know the stuff. Perfect. You still read the online tutorial inside of Edmentum, and then also look at these articles here, and then look at the videos here. I even have one on Clara Barton, who I was just talking about, an article her, and I also have a video on her that if you like, you can take some time to watch. It's really a great video about her life and how it came to be. So, but I thought I'd show you that. So remember, go to this week's article, Hyperdoc, on 5/25, and go down to Thursday, start there. Excuse me, Friday. Go to Friday and start there and get all the answers to the test, do the pre-test, get all the answers, go to Edmentum, put them inside of Edmentum, and then go back if you so you desire. That's why I say optional, and then look at these videos and learn a little bit about the Civil War. It's really great videos. Makes it easier for you. Okay? All right. So, but anyway, the only reason why I showed you that is I digress for a second. Oh, and lastly, remember your grades here. The impact of the Civil War. This is one's going to be due this upcoming Sunday at midnight. This one was due this past Sunday. The Civil War begins at midnight. I'll be putting that grade in this week. So that means should by the time you come next class have 3 grades in there, or definitely by Thursday, you should have 3 grades in there. And then by end of this week, Sunday, I'll have 4 grades in there. So you can see your final total grades in my class. Okay? All right. And now let's go back to the PowerPoint. All right. So like I said, this week you're going to look at various different people within the war, like Clara Barton. Here you have African American soldiers. For the first time in U.S. history, African American soldiers are playing their own part in helping with the war, and they fought on the side of the Union. And it's really interesting. At the beginning of the war, neither the Union soldiers or the Confederate soldiers had African American soldiers. Well, as the war began to drag on, because remember, they thought this war was only going to last one day, both sides. As the war began to drag on, somebody got the idea, well, wait a minute, why don't we recruit African Americans? And ironically, there weren't very many African Americans in the North at that time. Majority of them were in the South. But a lot of slaves escaped and went up north to fight on the side of the Union. And what made it special for these African American soldiers, unlike anyone else, is they're fighting for their freedom. And this war means a special thing to them, because if they win, these men here are going to come out and become free African Americans, free enslaved African Americans. So it was important for them to fight this war. So that's an African American family. That's a soldier family. Notice they're not smiling because back then you didn't smile in pictures. But that's an African American family. But they're fighting so that they don't have to live this life anymore. As you can see, actually, right there in the background, those are actually Union troops guarding these African American families. Um, that's Lincoln right there with his troops out in the battlefield. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you that as the war started to drag on, it really became. This is an actual photo that's turned color. The war, as it began to drag on, it really began to. You start to see the devastation of the war, but you also see the resilience of the United States. People like Clara Barton, African Americans who were once enslaved, now fighting for their very own freedom in this war. So it all kind of washes itself out. But that's all I'm going to say this week. Remember to do your mastery test. Uh, uh, you can get the answers inside. I just showed you inside of that Google form, and then put them inside of Edmentum. But that's all I have for you. I will see you in class. That's all I'm going to talk to you today. Thank you guys for listening, and have a great day. Bye bye.